Fantastic.
Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to another vlog. Today, coming to you on Easter Sunday from my sofa in the relaxingness of a extra long weekend. Here I'm getting a 4-day weekend, which we're most of the way through, unfortunately, but having a good time, spending a lot of time with family and seeing friends and so forth. So it has been a cool weekend so far, so I hope you are having a good Easter weekend wherever you are, whether you're celebrating Easter or not. Now, today is a very, very important day, and it's not because of Easter. It is the Robot Wars Series 2 final, being aired on BBC Two today, and in the past I've done a couple of videos after the shows, and I've done prediction ones before. Not really going to do that this time, but what I'm looking at and thinking about today is more about Robot Wars itself, and entering. I've mentioned it on Twitter a few times, and I think I've mentioned it in a vlog before as well. But I'm actually going to be building a robot, whether I go on the show or enter or not. I'm going to build something. It's going to be a nice little project to do. And I think it's something that I'm going to share with you guys as well. So I haven't decided whether it will be a mini-series on this channel or whether it will be a brand new channel to go alongside the work that I already do. But it's going to be one of those kind of long-term project things which you just slowly build up. I'll probably have maybe a monthly update video about how the project's going. Something along those lines. Just something easy going, nothing too crazy. But yeah, I'm going to be entering. Now, the biggest thing that I'm struggling with is the design. I can't decide how I want my robot to be. I know what works really well. I'm aware of the show and what you see in the show, and I'm aware that if you have a really powerful flipper, you've got a good chance of knocking your opponent out or throwing them into danger or just generally damaging them due to fall damage and things like that. The good thing about a flipper is that you don't get a lot of reaction damage or throwback damage, where with a spinner you have to. So with a spinner you have a mass that spins, which is attached to your robot. You go into another robot, that mass hits the other robot, and there is a collision. Okay, and you've got to think about Newton's laws here. So when there's a collision, there's an equal and opposite reaction in both ways. So you are applying pressure and force against their robot, but equally their robot's applying pressure and force against your weapon as well. So that then energy that you have spun up not only is transferred to that robot, but is felt through onto yours. So I think that's one of the biggest things about spinners and the discs, is that the energy in them is so great, and that's why they work so well, but it's what damages many of the spinning disc robots. And Carbine is one of the ones that suffers this from the least, I believe, because the way that they've engineered the actual rotor and the mechanism themselves. It's custom built, custom designed piece of equipment to help try and counteract that as much as possible. Now, the only way I can think of doing that would be as if your flywheel was almost independent of the robot. So you had an independent flywheel, it made contact, and it could just kind of ricochet back amongst itself. But again, there's still going to be a movement which is going to shake the robot, and that movement goes through the flywheel, through that central shaft, and through whatever's driving it, and they are all very vulnerable parts of your robot. I don't think I have the equipment or knowledge, engineering knowledge, to be able to do that successfully. So for me, I think a spinner is out of the question. Now, one thing that I thought I would like to do is like almost like a Bulldog robot. What do they call? Hellish, like a sumo robot, where there's not really an offensive weapon, but you push the other teams around, you shove them where you want them, you bash into them, and just generally bully them with advanced traction and power through the wheels. That is one I really like, and Tornado did that a little bit. It did have a weapon. I don't know if it always had a weapon. I don't think it always had a weapon. It had the option of putting one in the middle. But the Tornado robot, a very boxy robot, can run both ways, very strong and sturdy for its time. And yeah, that is the kind of thing that I thought I wanted to go for. But it's not really within the rules anymore. The rules state you have to have an active offensive weapon. And I don't think that really counts. However, a couple of episodes ago we had Miss Nightshade, and her offensive weapon was spikes. And there was just a few spikes, about probably... They looked like they were just a little bit bigger than that, I think. Because the robot was quite tall, it was over 1 metre high. And they said their offensive weapons were the spikes. Now, whilst that was true, it could be an immediately easy way to get around the rule about the offensive weapons, because spikes, they don't need any mechanical movement, they don't need any power, they don't need pneumatics or CO2. It's just a physical object that you ram them with. So if I was to make a rammy robot, spikes might be a good way to go. It would qualify me as being within the rules, and it would add to the simplicity. So that is one of the key things I'm thinking about with this robot. I want it to be simple. I want it to be robust. I want it to be redundant. No, I don't want it to be redundant. I want it to have redundancy. So if it loses a motor, it can still run on the others. Things like that. One of the biggest things in Robot Wars I've noticed is, apart from outright winning by smashing them to pieces, a lot of breaking down, a lot of being broken by buckling and twisting and that sort of thing. So what I want to do is make a very robust robot, a robot with redundancy, very simple. Now, by simple, I don't mean MDF. That would be hilarious. It did happen. Was it? No, it was last season, in season 1. I've got it on the Blu-ray. It's worth a watch. But I don't mean simple like that. What I mean is simple is in basic structural engineering, sort of simplicities. So that's what I want to go for. I want to go something that's simple. I want a weapon that's simple. I want power. I'm not a roboteer. Well, I suppose if I build a robot, I technically would be. But I have no qualifications or experience with electronics, welding, metalwork. The closest thing I've got is an A-level in product design and resistance materials. But I reckon I could do it. So the first phase of all this is mainly what I've been talking about, deciding what I'm going to do, deciding how I want my robot to be. And I think talking through this with you guys has given me some ideas about which way I want to go. If you want to look at the rules about entering, they are on the Robot Wars website, so go Google that, have a look at the website, read through the rules. One of the things I wanted to do was put an electromagnet on the front of a pushing robot. So you go around, you electromagnetize the other robot, and then you can drag them around and do what you want with them. EM stuff isn't allowed, along with projectiles, unless they've got a tether and combustibles, things like that. It's a whole list of things that's not allowed, which really does narrow down your options. So yeah, at the moment, those are my thoughts. And if you've got any ideas and thoughts that you wish to contribute to this, leave a comment on this video. I'm going to be listening to what you guys are saying. So that's one side of it. That's that. I'm entering. I'm not necessarily entering, but I'm building a robot that would qualify to enter. And those are my thoughts on it so far. On the other side of that, I've been trying to learn about the radio electronics because, again, it's something I know nothing about. I've got remote control quadcopters. I've had a remote control car in the past, but I don't know exactly how these things work. I know you have to have a controller, and I know there has to be electronics on board. So I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, and I've kind of worked out the basics of the electronics. So the transmitter-receiver relationship, the receiver, servo, and speed controller relationships, and then how that attaches to the motors, and then basic gearing. So I've basically been going through that process at the moment, learning those basics with a couple of videos. And what we're going to do is I'm going to build a prototype which isn't going to be a battle robot in the slightest. It's going to be a piece of wood with 2 wheels, and that's it. It's just to prove the concept of the electronics, of the basic electronics and how it works. So I think that is going to be phase 1, a proof of concept of the electronics. And I'm going to work on that now. I will record it and do some recordings on it just in case I want to start a video channel on it or do a mini-series. But yeah, suggestions for the robot as well. I think the one that I've thought of is we could call it Hellish bot. I kind of like that, and make it more of give it a theme of a kind of like digital presence type thing. But we'll see. I'll leave all those thoughts and my thoughts with you. I'll be interested to see what you guys have got as well. But yes, I'm going to start building a test one very soon. And we will see how that goes. I'm interested to see. Any ideas about what bits you'd be particularly interested to see? Any thoughts about how I can make things easier for myself? And also, if you want to contribute in some sort of way, maybe you are a local welder in Lincolnshire and you think, oh, I could build you a frame. Something like that. Anything that you might think you want to contribute in. We've seen a crowd-funded robot on Robot Wars before. Perhaps this could be the first social built robot on Robot Wars. The first community robot. I'm not sure how that goes with the rules. I'll have to check. But yes, we'll see how it goes. Well, there we go. There's my ramblings for this Sunday. It's all about roboting and Robot Wars stuff. Hope you've enjoyed it. I might do another one about this sort of thing in a few weeks' time, give you an update on how the plans and stuff are going. But any other ideas for things you want to see in vlogs? Because it's not just, I mean, there's been a lot of robots recently on this channel, but anything at all, from my day-to-day life to things happening around me, events, thoughts, topics. Pretty much the only thing I don't do is politics and religion. But anything else, give me a shout out and let me know what you want to see, and we'll see if we can deliver. Well, that's going to be all from me for now. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, enjoy your Easter, don't eat too much chocolate. No, I'm kidding. Eat loads, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.